Hello guys, welcome to another video here under the Web Fundamentals learning part, and we're currently under the introduction to web hacking module, and we just completed the working and application video. So here we are currently treating content discovery. Now today under the content discovery, we're going to learn the various ways of discovering hidden or private content on a web server that could lead to new vulnerabilities. And without further ado, let's kick off. Task 1. What is content discovery? Let me quickly start this machine because it takes time. So let's start that and then we'll continue. Firstly, we should ask in the context of web application security, what is content? Because content can be many things: a file, video, picture, backup, a website feature. When we talk about content discovery, we are not talking about obvious things. We're not talking about the obvious things we can see on a website. It's the things that aren't immediately presented to us and that weren't always intended for the public access. Okay, these are the things the clients can't see on the website. It's more or less something in the back end. Okay, now the content could be, for example, pages or portals intended for staff usage, older versions of the website, backup files, configuration files, administration panels, etc. So there are three main ways of discovering content on a website, which we will cover. They are manually, automated, and OSINT. This stands for open source intelligence. Okay, start the attack box by clicking the blue. We're not going to be using the attack box for this room. I'm going to just be using because my Tryhackme is connected using OpenVPN to my VirtualBox. Okay, so I'm not using the attack box. Okay, now let's answer the questions below. What is the content discovery method that begins with M? That's quite easy. Manually is the manual method. What is the content discovery method that begins with A? That should be automated. Okay, and what is the content discovery method that begins with O? That should be OSINT for the short form, which is open source intelligence. Let me put that on caps. OSINT. All right, enter, and that solves that. Okay, we're just done with task 1. Let's head on to task 2. Now we're going to be diving into treat this method. So the first is manual. So we're still under the manual discovery, and we're going to be treating Robots.txt. Okay, now there are multiple places we can manually check on a website to start discovering more content. The first here we're going to be looking at is Robots.txt. Now, the robots.txt file is a document that tells search engines which pages they are and aren't allowed to show on their search engine results, or ban specific search engines from crawling the websites altogether. Now, it can be common practice to restrict certain website areas so they aren't displayed in the search engine results. It's quite normal. Now, these pages may be areas such as administration portals or files meant for the website's customers. Okay, now these files gives us a great list of locations on the website that the owners don't want us to discover as penetration testers. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the robots.txt file on the ACME IT support website to see if they have anything they don't want us to list. Now to do this, we can open the Firefox on the attack box. I'm using my VirtualBox here, which is connected through VPN. So I'm just going to open up this link, which is directly opens us to the robots.txt website. And if I scroll open here or enlarge this, you can see user agents will allow the normal websites, which is the / and disallow / staff.portal. So I'm just going to go to the normal / here, which is allowed. If I click on that, it should take me to the main website. Okay, I need to put in like HTTP. Okay, it's put it. Okay, all right, so here we go. So this is the website, right? And this is the one that is allowed. So the one that is not allowed is / staff, not in caps, staff -portal, and I'm just going to hit enter here. And you see, you found the robots.txt endpoint. Okay, so basically This is an example of a part where a website owner wouldn't want us to see, or they wouldn't allow the penetration tester to discover. So this is basically it. So to answer the question below, what is the directory in the robots.txt that isn't allowed to be viewed by web crawlers? And that should be the staff portal directory. And hit enter. That should be the answer. Correct. So we're done with task 2. Let's head on to task 3. On the task 3 here, it's manual discovery. I call this Favicon or Favicon, whichever one. So let's just use Favicon. The Favicon is a small icon displayed in the browser's address bar or tab used for branding a website. So more or less it's more like what we use in branding a particular website. So it's an icon that you see on the top search bar of the website URL. Sometimes when frameworks are used to build a website, a favicon that is part of the installation gets left over, and if the website developer doesn't replace this with a custom one, this can give us a clue on what framework is in use. OApps host a database of common framework icons that you can use to check against the target's favicon. This is the website to check the database. Okay, now once we know the framework stack, we can use external resources to discover more about it. See next section. Now, practical exercise. On the attack box, which is on open a Firefox and enter the URL. I'm going to open this while it's loading. Here you will see a basic website with a note saying website coming soon. If you look at your tabs, you will notice an icon that confirms that this site is using a favicon. Now, viewing the page source, you will see the line 6 contains a line to the image /favicon.ico file, and if you run the following commands on the attack box, it will download the favicon and gets its MD5 hash value, which you can then look up on the database to check for the favicon, the OApps database. Okay, all right, let's open up this is where it says website coming soon, and you can see here this is more like where you see a favicon, I guess. Yes, so I'm just going to control U here, and this gives me the source and the source code. Here we can see the images /favicon. I can either copy that, or I will just click on that, and let me see what it does. It actually takes me, if you scroll here, you can see it's very tiny, the CGIRC or something. So okay, so that's what you see here. So we're going to just go over and we're going to copy that URL using this call to call the link to the favicon, and then the MD5 sum. So let me see. I'll click on this, and then I'll copy the whole of this. Ctrl C, and I'll just go to my Kali here, and I'm going to use. So I'm going to call and Ctrl Shift V. I pasted that, so I'm just going to remove that particular first part here. The view source is not supposed to be part of it. I'm supposed to just copy the website link directly. So call this, and then I'm going to pipe it to the MD5 hash. So I'm going to pipe that and then type MD5. I guess that's correct. Back here, so MD5 sum, sorry. So MD5 sum. And I'm just going to hit enter, and as you can see here, I have the hash. So I have the hash here. So I'm just going to copy this hash now. Control Shift C, and I'm going to go to the link for the database, and okay. As you can see, this is the link to the database. You're supposed to search the hash to see what's correlated, but it looks like I can search here. So Ctrl V, let me hit search, and okay, we got an answer here. So that should be the answer to the next question here, which says what framework did the favicon belong to? And as you can see, this is the framework here. I think CGIRC. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that. okay, and hit enter. And the other one here is the PowerShell in case you're using a Windows computer. Okay, that brings us to the end of task 3 where we treated Favicon. Next is task 4, Sitemap.xml. And unlike the Robots.txt file, which restricts what search engine crawlers can look at, the sitemap.xml file gives a list of every file the website owner wishes to be listed on a search engine. So it's like the opposite of Robots.txt. Now this can sometimes contain areas of the website that are a bit more difficult to navigate to, or even list some old web pages that the current site no longer uses but are still working behind the scene. Now take a look at the sitemap.xml file on the ACME IT support website to see if there's any new content we haven't yet discovered. So I'm just going to close all this, close, and I'm going to open this. Okay, let's check that out. So obviously we can see some of the URL here. We have lock, location, lock, and we have we have news /news, news article ID, news article ID 2, ID 3. We have contacts, we have customer login, and we have secret. That area, I think this is more like the area they don't want us to see. This one looks different. Ctrl C. I'm just going to copy that and open up a new browser, paste here, enter, and you found the sitemap endpoint. So it looks like that might be something that we need. What is the part of the secret area that can be found in the sitemap.xml file? XML. So I think that's the / area here. Let me paste that, and that should be the secret area directory. Okay, correct. Now we're done with task 4. Let's head on to task 5. Still under manual discovery, we're going to treat HTTP headers. Okay, now HTTP headers, when we make requests to the web server, the server returns various HTTP headers. Now these headers can sometimes contain useful information such as the web server software and possibly the programming or scripting language in use. Now in the below example, we can see the web server is Nginx version 1.18.0 and runs PHP version 7.4.3 using this. Now using this information, we could find vulnerable versions of software being used. Then we're going to try running the below call command against the web server, which where the -v switch enables verbose mode, which will output the headers. There might be something interesting. Okay, now basically there are two ways we can possibly solve this. I'm going to use the call option, and after that I'm going to show you the other option. So if you copy this, I'm just going to copy directly what we have here, and then just use that command here, and Ctrl+V, and I'm just going to run that. And as you can see, it gave me an answer here, headers, basically. So we have the response here. Okay, we have the response here. Okay, HTTP, and then we have the server. These are the information. Some of these informations might not be needed to for the client side to be able to see. Otherwise, it could be taken advantage of. Hence why this is something that might need to be hidden. Okay, so the X flag, this might be the flag that we need. I'm going to come back to this, but let me show you the other option. The other option could be if we come over to the website itself. Let me close this. Let me use the main website here, and I'm just going to close this part. So on this main website here, if I Ctrl+Shift+I and go to the developer tool here, what I'm going to go to is the network. Let's reload. If I reload this, I'm going to get this the get request I just sent, and if I click on this get request over here, I can see the headers. Okay, now under the headers, I'm going to see the response headers. This is the get or the one we sent, and then the response headers, you're going to see the is some more like exactly what we saw over here when we did the call. Okay, so more or less the same. So So we can actually see that over here you can actually see the response headers giving us those informations like the server information. Okay, so you can see it gave us more like the server name, the version, which we could which some hackers or penetration testers can actually use to find vulnerabilities. Okay, and here is the flag, so we can copy anywhere. I can just copy the flag. I think that's what we needed for this tax 5. And what is the flag value from the X flag header? So this is it. I'm going to submit that, and I like to read the hint. What does it say? Make sure you've started the attack box, the flag that starts with THM when you use the code. Okay, we already done that. Okay, so I see. Now we're done with tax 5. Let's head on to tax 6. Now, manual discovery. Here we're treating framework stack. Now the framework stack. Once you've established the framework of a website, either from the above Favicon example or by looking for clues in the page source, such as comments, copyright notes, notice, or credits, you can then locate the framework's website. From there, we can learn more about the software and other information, possibly leading to more contents we can discover. Now, looking at the page source of our ACME IT support website, I'm just going to open here and close the one before. You'll see a comment at the end of every page. At the end of every page with a page load time and also a link to the framework's website. Here, let's take a look at that website. Viewing the documentation page gives us the part of the framework's administration portal, which gives us a flag if viewed on the ACME IT support website. Okay, so this is the website. If I control U, gives me the source page, and at the end of it you can see the framework here and the link to the framework. I think the framework here says it's using version 1.2. so if you copy this link, which was also provided for us, and if we go to that link, here, let's see. Okay, so this is the link here, and you see the Tryhackme web framework, and as you can see, it's using the current version 1.3 as against the version that they are using 1.2. so this is something that we might need to take note of, which means that the old version is probably more vulnerable as compared to the latest version. Okay, and so if we click on the change log, you can see the list of the version. Then if we click on the documentation, it says the documentation for the framework is pre-installed on your website administration portal. Once you've installed the framework, navigate to the /thm-framework-login part on your website. You can log in with the username admin and password admin to make sure you've changed the password. So it looks like we have some information. Let's see what question is there for us. What is the flag from the framework's administration portal? So I'm just going to copy this particular link to the framework login page, which you already have access with the username and password here. So I'm just going to use here Ctrl V or Ctrl C. Let me just use the main site here and Ctrl V here. Let's see. Okay, so this is the Tryhackme web framework. So I'm just going to type in admin, and the password is admin as well. Hit enter, don't save, and as you can see, it takes us to that particular flag right there. Okay, that answers that. So I'm just going to close this and this. We're still going to have that. Okay, now we are done with the manual discovery options. We're going to start OSINT. Okay, now OSINT here starts with Google hacking or Dorking. So there are also external resources available that can help in discovering information about your target website. These resources are often referred to as OSINT or open source intelligence, as they are freely available tools that collect information. Okay, now we're treating Google hacking or Dorking. Now, Google hacking or Dorking utilizes Google's advanced search engine features, which allows you to pick out custom content. You can, for instance, pick out results from a certain domain name using the site's column filter. Now, for example, site column Tryhackme, you can then match this up with certain search terms. Say, for example, the word admin, site tryhackme.com, then admin. This then would only return results from the tryhackme.com website, which contain the word admin in its contents. You can combine multiple filters as well. Here's an example of more filters you can use. We have the site, we have the in URL, file type, and in title. Here we can see example in URL admin, file type PDF. For instance, if you're looking for a PDF in that website, and in title admin, and so on and so forth. Now, for more information about Google hacking, we can check out this link. Okay. Now, what Google Doc operator can be used to only show results from a particular site. So that should be site column enter. That's it. Let's see what hint was there. Format XSS. Okay. All right, now task 8, OSINT Wappalyzer. Okay, Wappalyzer. Okay, now Wappalyzer, which has this link here, is an online tool. If you look here, I already have that installed, and it's an online tool and browser extension that helps identify what technologies a website uses, such as frameworks, content management systems, analytics, payment processors, and much more. And it can even find version numbers as well. We're going to see that. So for this is a Tryhackme page right now. So if I click on the Wappalyzer, which I installed to the extension on my Firefox, you can see under the technologies here, we see Google Analytics, and we see the CDN. We have the programming language it uses, Node.js, JavaScript frameworks, and a lot more. As you can see, Tryhackme is using a lot here. Now, for instance, now if we go over to the page that we've been using, let me see what website were we using before. Kindly hold. Let me see. Okay, let me open this. Okay, and back to Wappalyzer. So if we open this right here, okay, that's still not what I want. On the main page. Okay, so if I click on Wappalyzer here, you can see the web server uses Nginx. You can see the version. We have the reverse proxy, which is operating system Ubuntu. As you can see, it gives us more information about this. So we have the UI framework, which uses Bootstrap, and so on and so forth. It uses jQuery as well, and the version number. So with this, you can actually take advantage of these version numbers to look for vulnerabilities and stuff to actually find flaws on those websites. So what online tool can be used to identify what technologies the website is running on? And basically it's the Wappalyzer here. So I'm just going to type that, Wappalyzer, enter, and that solves that. Task 9, OSINT Wayback machine. Wayback machine. The Wayback machine, which the website here, I'm going to open that, is a historic archive of websites that dates back to the late 90s. You can search a domain name and it will show you all the times the service scraped the web page and saved the content. This service can help uncover old pages that may still be active on the current website. Okay, what is the website address for the Wayback machine? Before that, let me see. This is the Wayback machine. So let me see. So let's just continue. The web page here for the website address is basically this. So I'm going to copy this, paste, and close this, and remove this. Enter. Okay. Now, OSINT GitHub. GitHub. To understand GitHub, you first need to understand Git. So Git is a version control system that tracks changes to files in a project. Working in a team is easier because you can see what each team member is editing and what changes they made to the files. So when users have finished making their changes, they commit them with a message and then push them back to a central location, which is the repository. Now, for the other users to then pull those changes to their local machines. Okay. Now, GitHub is a hosted version of Git on the internet. Now, repositories can either be set to public or private and have various access controls. Nice. Now, you can use GitHub's search feature to look for companies' names or website names to try to locate repositories belonging to your target. Once discovered, you may have access to source code, passwords, or other content that you hadn't yet found. Yes, I heard GitHub is really very versatile in that area, and you can actually take that to your advantage. So what is Git? Git is version control system, I guess. That's what it wants us to put, version control system. And there we go, that's the answer. And let's go to task 11. OSINT S3 buckets. S3 buckets are a storage service provided by Amazon AWS, and allowing people to save files and even static website content in the cloud accessible over HTTP and HTTPS. Now, the owner of the files can set access permissions to either make files public, private, and even writable. Now, sometimes these access permissions are incorrectly set and inadvertently allow access to files that shouldn't be available to the public. Now, the format of the S3 buckets is HTTP or with S / the name.s3.amazonaws.com. Now, where name is decided by the owner, such as Tryhackme-assets.s3.amazonaws.com. Now, the S3 buckets can be discovered in many ways, such as finding the URLs in the website page source, GitHub repositories, or even automating the process. Now, one common automation method is by using the company name followed by company terms such as name assets, and then or name www, name public, name private, etc. Now, what URL format do Amazon S3 buckets end in? Basically, it's the s3.amazon.amazonaws.com. So I might just copy this here. Ctrl C, paste here, enter, and that's the answer. And lastly, here the only task here for the automated discovery. What is automated discovery? Now, automated discovery is the process of using tools to discover contents rather than doing it manually. Okay. Now, this process is automated as it usually contains hundreds, thousands, or even millions of requests to a web server. Now, these requests check whether a file or directory exists on a website, giving us access to resources we didn't previously know existed. Okay. Now, this process is made possible by using a resource called word list. Okay, word lists. What are word lists? Word lists are just text files that contains a long list of commonly used words. They can cover many different use cases. For example, a password word list would include the most frequently used passwords, whereas we are looking for content in our case. So this password could even contain list of passwords from previously hacked companies, and they're brought together, something like that. Whereas we are looking for content in our case, so we would require a list containing most commonly used directory and file names. Okay. Now, an excellent resource for word list that is pre-installed on the Tryhackme attack box, or basically on the Linux machine, is https github.com Daniel Miesler checklist. Basically, the checklist which Daniel curates. Okay. Now, automation tools. Although there are many different content discovery tools available, all with their features and flaws, we are going to cover 3 which are pre-installed on our attack box: FFUF, Deb, and GoBuster. My favorite is the GoBuster. I use FFUF as well. Now, the attack box execute the following 3 commands targeting the ACME IT support website and see what results you get. For this, I'm just going to use my favorite, which is GoBuster. I'm just going to use using the results from the commands above. Please answer the following question. So I'm just going to go straight to my terminal here. Control L, clear that, and I'm going to use GoBuster. First, let me explain that particular code there. So GoBuster here would use GoBuster, which is the to directory, to specify what type of search we're doing, which is we're looking for directories. There are other options you can use under GoBuster switches like virtual machines and so on. So directly, then the URL, you can either use --URL or you just use -u. Then HTTP, the website's URL, and then -w, which is stand for word list, to give you to the word list location in the particular place you're using this, which, for instance, in our case, is the the Linux machine here. Okay, so I'm going to start Go Buster, and I'm going to go to directory, and I'm going to use -u, and I'm going to paste the link to the location, the URL. Then I'm going to go to the word list, and I'm using USR and share, and I'm going to word lists, and I might just use the deb directory here. And if you don't know what that is you can use different options. So I'm going to click here and use the command.txt file and hit enter, and let's see, it's searching that for me. Let's wait and see. Okay, basically I'm expecting this to have been faster, so I'm just going to wait till it's done, and I'm going to just fast forward to when the answer is already here. Okay, it's still loading. While it's loading, let me check out the questions that we need to answer here. It said, what is the name of the directory beginning with /mo? We're gonna see that. And what is the name of the log file that was discovered? So I'm just gonna hit hint here on the attack box, open a terminal, and run the commands shown below both. Okay, and so let's see. This is taking quite some time. Okay, 57%, 58%. Okay, I think it's almost 82%. From here I can already see that we have a directory here that starts with mo. This might be monthly, so I'm just going to copy that. Oh, it's finished. I stopped it. Let's see. Mo, paste. Oh my god. Okay, it looks like it's finished, but it looks like I cut it short because keyboard interrupted. I mistakenly interrupted it, and although it looks like I have all my answers already, so basically, I'm just going to copy this, Ctrl+Shift+C, and let's see if that's the answer, monthly. Great. Now, what is the name of the log file that was discovered? Let me see if that was complete, otherwise I'll redo that. Okay, we have a .log file here, so I'm just going to I'm going to copy that, Ctrl+Shift+C, and I'm going to paste that. Good, let's see. Okay, great. Right, so I enjoyed this room, to be honest. This was great, the content discovery room. Next will be the subdomain enumeration, and thank you for studying with me. Thank you for learning with me. I'll see you guys in the next room, and do have a lovely day. Bye bye. Ciao.